Hello everybody, my name's Captain Meatshield and welcome to this war of mine. This is a more serious game than some of the ones that I've played so far. It's a kind of stark look at the effects of war, not from a soldier standpoint, but from the civilians in like a war-torn city as they band together to scavenge, find themselves some shelter, and just withstand the conflict. The people that I'll be playing as are not soldiers. They're all civilians from various different backgrounds. They all have various different kind of, backstories and traits and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to dive in. We're going to see what we can do to survive. Day 1. Fuck the war. You said it. Okay, so this is our little shelter. It's an old, bombed out apartment block or house by the looks of things. And we've got ourselves a few civilians who have banded together to try and withstand what's going on around them. This all looks a bit of a mess so far. When the Civil War broke out, many people thought it would only last a couple of weeks. It's been years since government military surrounded the rebels in the capital, cutting off all supply lines. The civilian population trapped in the city is suffering from hunger, disease, and shelling. Katia met both Pavle and Bruno before the war. She used to be a reporter, while Bruno had his own television cooking show. Pavle was the star of the local football team. Katia even interviewed him once. Now they meet in dramatically different circumstances, looking for food and shelter. So these are our people. We have Katia, who has bargaining skills. We have Pavle, who's a fast runner. And we've got Bruno, who's a good cook, but he's also slightly sick. Okay. I have played a little bit of this game before. I did a run through where I did win, but it wasn't with this selection of people. So the first thing we need to do is start clearing up some of the space. We need to rummage through all this stuff, because rummage through little dirt piles, or piles of salvage and wreckage, and you can find items, which you use for either bartering, or you use them for kind of building stuff towards your house. Like you've got components and wood. These go towards building a lot of things that you're going to need. So we're just going to grab everything for now. Katia, you're going to rummage around and see what you can find in other places. And you, Bruno, you can't even get up there because that door's locked. Alright, oh, we've got a little bit of food. That's a good start. Okay, you get down there and start going through all that, and you can open up this. Now this is most likely going to be quite a drawn out series, because this game goes on for a little while. It takes a little while for you to start getting your stuff together. It's been a while, it's been a good few months since I played, so I've got to remember how to get back into the swing of doing things. And finding the right order in which to build stuff, where to go, because you have, the way this game works, you have a day cycle and a night cycle. During the day, between 8 AM and 8 PM, you are here. You have your survivors, you go about doing things around the house, essentially. A lot of housework. It involves a lot of kind of construction and managing your resources, making sure that everybody's fed, they've slept, everybody needs to be well rested, and going about doing things for the house itself. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we can get ourselves off to a good start. We've got a workbench here, which we can use for building things like beds, chairs, all that sort of stuff. And we are, I think Pavle's done for as much as he can up here. What do we have? We've got one lockpick so far. I'm not sure if I want to waste it, because those can become quite handy. So let's get him down to the workshop and see what he can build. Bruno's nearly finished with this, so we can clear out that one as well. Okay. So what have we got? We've got a bed. We've got chairs. We've got a simple heater, a radio, rainwater collector, metal workshop, moonshine still, crude stove, and then consumables, filters and fuel. Okay, so beds, obviously, for people to rest in. Chairs are so people have got somewhere to sit during the day. A heater comes along because winter rolls around. Winter is coming. And it's important that you keep your household warm, because otherwise people are going to fall sick and they can die. And this game has a permadeath system, so if somebody dies from illness or if they die from severe wounds, then they're gone. You never get them back. So you have to look after your people. You have a radio, which you use for finding out what's going on around the city, give you an update on what's happening and like when the ceasefire or something might be coming in, or what's going to be happening with the rise in crime. It's important to keep updated on things. Rainwater collector, so you can get fresh water. Metal workshop, so you can craft tools and weapons. Well, for small-ish weapons, stuff like crowbars and axes that you can use as melee weapons. I think you can actually make guns and stuff with that one as well. I can't remember. The moonshine still used for making booze, which you can use to trade or refining into, I think it's pure alcohol, which you use for making stuff like medicines. Then you've got a crude stove, which you use for cooking. So first things first, I'm going to build a bed. Where am I going to make my bedrooms? I'm playing in window mode just to make it a little easier on my system. I'm going to make down here the bedroom because it's underground, it's nice and warm. It should be alright down there. I mean, I don't think it really matters where you put things, as long as you've got them. I mean, you can put, like, when you get around to having a heater, I think you can put it anywhere in the house and it will heat the whole thing, even if you put it up on the, like, even if you could put it up on the roof. It would probably work that way. It probably wouldn't work that way, but... No, what are you doing? So this game may involve a fair bit of sitting around. What I will end up doing, if that happens, is I will just cut things. If anything that's not particularly interesting is going on, just build a radio so we can keep updated on what's happening. And screw it, we're going to open up this door so that we can get in there. Or do metal workshop. Let's get that instead for now, because I'm hoping by the time I go out I could have a crowbar, because they become really handy, really good for getting through doors. Let's see what's on the radio. The rebel leader instructed us to warn the listeners not to cross the front line. Failure to comply could result in death. Despite desperate counterattacks by the rebels trying to lift the siege of Pogoren, the city remains cut off. Government forces do not allow any aid to reach the city, claiming it will end up in rebel hands. The upcoming days should still be nice and warm, perfect for a stroll in the park. Provided you don't want to get shot. Classical music. Let me put it on this one. I think playing music off the radio keeps your survivors' morale up, so it's a good thing to have. Yes, we can make a crowbar. Good. I want that ready for when we go out. Bruno will get started on this pile. And once we have a crowbar, we can open up the rest of these locked things around the house. So I'm going to get you down here. There we go. Icons changed, so we can break this open with the crowbar. And we can see what's inside. What do we have? Ooh, we've got some medicine. That's going to be handy. So even if nobody needs it, we can trade it, and it's very valuable stuff. So we're approaching 8 o'clock, which is the end of the day cycle. And then we're going to go on to one of our scavenging missions. So let's see what we get up to. The night. Okay, this is the night cycle. So we have our shelter is down here. We have our scavengers, our survivors, and we have a selection of locations that we can go to scavenge during the night. Everybody here has a role that they will play. Bruno, I'm going to let you sleep in the bed because you are slightly sick, so you could do with a good night's rest and hopefully your immune system will sort you out. Now I have a choice between Pavle and Katia for scavenging or guarding, because during the night you can get raided by other scavengers or by groups of bandits, and it can sometimes not go very well. So I think I'm going to leave Katia at home. Actually, no, Pavle can stay at home and Katia can go scavenge. Now we have a choice of a shelled cottage. This neighbourhood recently got shelled and many houses are still burning. People were fleeing for their lives in a hurry, so we may find some useful stuff there without meeting anyone. A semi-detached house. Half of it is a ruin, but there are people living in the other half. They don't seem friendly. At night you can sometimes hear shots fired from there. We could probably scour the abandoned part for supplies if we managed to sneak past the inhabited part. And a decrepit squat. It's been inhabited by the homeless since long before the war. They've always been struggling with lack of food and might not have survived the recent shortages. They shouldn't be a threat. We could find some useful things there. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure on where I want to go with. We'll go with the shelled cottage for now, because there's a lot of stuff there. We can come back with some really good things and we're not going to run into anyone. So it's a nice easy starting point, so let's go. Now what stuff are we going to take with us? There's not really anything that's worth taking with the exception of the crowbar, so we're going to take that. It does take up a spot in your backpack, but the rest of the space we've got for picking up things along the way. So let's go. So here we are. This is the shelled cottage. So we're going to move along. Now you see those little shock waves that are coming off me? Those are like loud sounds. So you have to, when you're around areas that have got other people, you want to move around very quietly, because if they're hostile, they're going to come looking for you, and it's not always going to end well. I'm just going to grab everything for now. We'll fiddle about with, we'll micromanage when we get to doing stuff. Yeah, a lot more components and a lot more wood. Stuff like gunpowder I'm not too fussed about picking up at the moment, because we don't have any means to go about making weapons, so it's not really going to be much use to us. We want stuff for us to be able to upgrade our place with, and yep, there is nobody there. You can peek through doorways, which is really handy before going through them, so you can scout ahead before having to worry about anything. There's a fridge. What do we have in here? We've got a lot of food and a lot of water, so it may be worth dumping some of this stuff. I'm going to take this chicken. I'm going to take the vegetables. I should probably take the water as well. Okay, all the sugar. Sugar is used for making moonshine. So once we've got a moonshine still, we'll definitely need to come back for all this. But for now it's of no use to us, so we're going to leave it where it is. What do we have in here? We've got some herbal meds and some full-blown medication. Those are going to be very handy in the long run as well, so I think what will happen is the next night we'll come back round and we'll get some more of this stuff. I'm going to clear out some of this stuff, by the way. These big piles are so much easier to get through once you've got a shovel, which we'll get round to building in the near future, hopefully. But for now, we're just going to have to make do with doing everything by hand. Alright, we're through. Okay, what have we got here? going to be something good. Ooh, that's some interesting stuff. Right, we've got electronic parts, we've got weapon parts, we've got parts in general. Those get used for, I think those get used for building more kind of complex things for around the house. I wish I had more backpack space. And there isn't a way to increase the amount of space that you have. You can get other characters who can carry more, but that's the best that you can get. Did I check under this bed? I think I did. That was where all the meds and stuff were, yeah. Okay, let's have a look upstairs. Another pile here. A lot more components and wood. Let's get through this door. Go on, Bolo, use your monkey strength. And we're through. Okay. One of the flyers dropped on the city. It reads, "This is a zone of anti-terrorist operation. Persons remaining in the city will be treated as terrorist supporters. For your own and your family's safety, leave Pogoren immediately. The army guarantees you a safe passage." Not many believed them after the atrocities they had committed. So this game really is meant to show like how horrible war can be. You know, it shows how soldiers kind of end up being quite corrupted and just being vicious, not really kind of taking anything into consideration with regards to other people. And just looking at the suffering that the survivors and the people just trying to get by have to go through. I mean, it's a fantastic game. It's really well put together. And it really just does kind of show you the kind of stark reality of what it would be to live in this sort of environment. But we're nearly done with kind of opening up all the areas in this cottage. So once we've got this rubble pile like shoved out of the way, we'll get this door open. Hopefully we'll be done by the time we have to go, which I think is 4 or 5 o'clock. So we should just have enough time. And then we'll come back tomorrow night and we'll gather a shitload more stuff. So, come on! Okay, we're approaching 4 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock must be the cut-off time for nighttime stuff. So, let's get this cabinet open and we'll see what we've got inside. And then we're going to go home, going to sit down, have a cup of tea, and we'll get other stuff sorted. Right, bandages, moonshine, and some weapon stuff. Okay, yeah, we're definitely coming back here. So for now, we can't do any more. We're going to go home, and we're going to come back tomorrow night. Right, Katia is back. Good. Day 2. See what happened during the night. Nothing. Good. Okay. Katia is hungry. Everyone's hungry, so you are going to... You can go and have a sit down. We need a stove, because Bruno is going to go about cooking us up some tasty eats. And let's get you to check the radio, see if there's anything going on. It doesn't always change every day what's going on with the radio, so... But it's always good to check. No, everything's still fine. So we'll whack it back on the music. You really can just burn through materials on this game so quickly. So it's important to do as much as you can efficiently. You can go and have a nap. Have we got enough to upgrade this? Because then we won't have to worry about using so much stuff when it comes down to it. No. Damn. Okay, Bruno. Ready, steady, cook. Right, we need to make some fuel first. We need 2 fuel on that. And 1 fuel for that one. So we're going to make 3 out of some bits of wood. And you are going to go and make another bed. So that we've got places for people to sleep during the day. I think this is a real band that they got in for, like, doing this music. Like, I'll have to check the credits at some point, see if I can find out who it is. Right, can I have one of these? Food becomes a real serious issue. Keeping people fed is very, very important. Right. Oh, yes. That's a good point. If we go and look at the people's bios, you go and sleep, it'll give us little things about them. Like backstories, what they've been thinking when various events happen. So, Pavle. Before this whole mess began, I lived with my wife and son in the better part of the city. I haven't seen them in a long time. I hope they're okay. I'm not doing so well, as you can see. Who needs football players during the war? Nobody cares about sports when every day can be their last. So I scavenge the ruins like everyone else, hoping for the best. Bruno, who, as we can see here, is a smoker. So finding cigarettes and having cigarettes for him to sit around and smoke during the day will, like, keep his spirits up. Like, his morale won't drop quite as quickly as it would without them. So that's a good thing to keep an eye out for. I won't go about reading everybody's bios, but we're just going to carry on with doing this sort of stuff. So you were going through all this, so get back to it. So overall, this place is a bit of a mess. And it's looking a little better than it did now that we've got some of that rubble out of the way, but we've still got these big holes in the walls that we need to sort out. Because that's just easy access points for raiders during the night. So we want to make sure that we try and get some of all this stuff boarded up. Ooh, jewellery. Valuable bartering item. Excellent. Okie dokie. Things are starting to look a little bit better. Right, Pavle's up. You can go and eat. Bruno, you come over here so that you can cook something up for Katia once Pavle's eaten. And then you can go back to bed. There we go. Right. We're up to the last section of our house. We're going to clear out all this rubble, get through that door, and then we've got access to this last cabinet. Katia, you can go and have something to eat. Hurry up about it. Don't think we're going to get this rubble out of the way before the end of the day, so it's not too much to worry about. We could just worry about that when the next day rolls round. But so far, things seem to be going okay. Everybody's fed. Everybody's slept. Bruno's in bed recovering, which is good. Let's see if Pavle can get through this in time. Probably won't. But no worries. We're approaching 8 o'clock. So it's soon going to be time for another scavenging mission. Okay, here we go. And we've got some new areas opened up for us. Right. As we did last time, Bruno, you're going to sleep. And we've got access to St. Mary's Church. Caution advised there. So there are definitely going to be people around. And the garage, where we can go to do some trading, which is handy. Impulsive son and his elderly father. I think I remember that. I think there was they traded for a lot of stuff like medicines and bandages and stuff, which are very, very valuable items. So that's certainly something to consider for later on. But for now, I think it would be worth us going back to the Shell Cottage and clearing up a lot of the stuff that we left there. So we're going to get Katia to go out scavenging again, and Pavle, you can guard. So we don't need to take anything with us, so we've got full space in our backpack. So let's get in there and steal some shit. Rummage, 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 rummage. I have those. So now that we know that there's nothing here, nothing's blocking our way, we can literally just get in, grab the stuff that we want, and go. I think I want to go about trying to make moonshine still as soon as possible, along with some rain collectors, so that we can start making moonshine, because then whenever we end up with a trade opportunity, that's always something that goes down quite well. With Katia and her bargaining skills, she can get better deals when it comes down to trading with people. So everybody in this game does have, like, all of the people that you get have different aspects that they can provide for, like, different aspects of the game. Like Bruno obviously being a good cook. Ooh, ammunition there as well. I want to take the moonshine, but I don't know. I think I'm going to leave that water as well because it's only one. The meat's more important, I think. I really need stuff to go about upgrading some of my workshops and my stove, just to make things run a bit more efficiently. And wood is such a bitch because it takes up so much space. Okay, let's see what else we can do. See what else we can find, see if there's anything that's worth dropping something else to have. Right now, I really don't know. We're going to get back up here, we're just going to rummage through another couple of things, and then we'll get our asses out of here. That's more components. I really should leave stuff, but I don't. We'll leave the meat for now. More components, that's what I need. There's a lot more components and stuff, so hopefully we should be able to come back for another night and just clear out the rest. I mean, I don't want to rummage around, I don't want to stick around one place too much, because there are going to be other opportunities and other scavenge sites, but a lot of this stuff would be really handy. I mean, the books are there to kind of lift morale, but you can also use them for making fuel. Ah, such a micromanaging nightmare, but it's so much fun. Okay, that's probably going to be the best we're going to get out of this one, because these things are really handy, because if anybody gets hurt or they get sick, then we've got them available for people to use, but also if somebody wants to come along and trade with us, then we've got some excellent bartering items. So we're going to leave it at that, and we're just going to run. We're going to get our asses home, and we will see what happens with another night. Katia is back. Day 3. The music in this game really sets the mood. It's so bleak and kind of hopeless. And we had another calm night. That's good. Okay. I think I'm going to leave this episode here. We think we're off to a good start. We'll see what happens in the coming days, and we'll get back to our adventure. Well, I don't really say adventure, more like an ordeal. But this has been This War of Mine. I hope to see this becoming a long-running series, and I really hope that everybody enjoys this as well. This game is available, I think it's on Steam, but I got this one off of Good Old Games, GOG.com. It's going for about 15 quid at the moment, and I think it comes with like the full soundtrack and stuff as well. Like, there's no DRM or any kind of activation stuff that you need to worry about. It's download, install, play, which is really, really nice. It's a very involving game, and you do require a lot of strategy when it comes down to it. You have to figure out what you need to be doing, how you need to proceed in the future, and you kind of do need to have a little bit of foresight to know what might come along. But a lot of the events are all randomized and stuff as well, so go and find the game for yourself if you like the look of it. Really get in and play it yourself, because it's another one, like the games that I've been playing so far, I really have highly recommended, because I've really enjoyed playing them, and I really do recommend it. So this has been This War of Mine, and we shall continue sometime soon. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.